You want?
Right.
So, yeah, right? So, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Mekakadash. Right? We sit down on the apostle and elders of the Most and Ruba, our teachers, our apostle in truth. Our salutations to the Atmos, they put you within our truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season or season, we're risking life on a daily basis to push His word. We say, Shalom.
Shalom.
Right? And once again, we also get a prophesy. I just want to start straight. The man, matter of fact, I'll read it. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7. And I will start from verse 41. It says, even so now, seeing corruption has grown up, and wickedness increased, and corruption has grown up, and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly. Wherefore shall it not be so now also? So what? Corruption has grown up and wickedness increased. And again, this is the time we're in, where corruption grown to the highest extent, and wickedness will increase to the level like they have never seen before. You know, just this week alone, we saw where Trinidad and Guyana and some other countries where they were celebrating the so-called Pride Week and Pride Day and all this other stuff, right? You know, and you're supposed to already know when I mention the word pride, where it goes into the most and them, right? You know, so obviously between YouTube terms and standards, right? Yeah, basically can't say certain words, right? And there's another example as well, because you're speaking out against what? Evil, against what? Things that are against the Lord, right? Literally things that they're not supposed to be taken part in. All the things that you know the Lord said to stay away from. In this place, in this wicked place, they continue to tell you to do it. And the things that the Lord tell you to take part in, what they do what? They tell you that is what they will be considered to be, that is what they consider to be what? Evil. Right? I always say they call the evil good. Right? And the good one, evil. Right?
But last part here.
It says, and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly. Wherefore shall it not be so now also?
So you see how they say when the righteous had prayed for the ungodly. Okay, it was also a practice of our people. The prophets used to say it. They used to be lamenting for the wicked of our people. You know? They say, why hast thou removed thy fear from us? All these different things they used to say why, but they used to lament for those of our people that were going on. So the other day, we don't want our people to be on the earth. We just understand that guys how it had to be until the kingdom. You understand? Well, we say in second address 9 verse 13 and say, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved. They say whose the world is and for whom the world is created. So that is the very mindset we're supposed to be in now. We understand that all people are going to be how they are. They're not going to change. Scripture say what their eyes have been blinded. Unless they see with their eyes and hear with their ears, they're not going to change from how they are. So that is why when the apostles and elders come down, we just constantly say, we come out here for holy, right? Even though we might preach the gospel for other people to hear and understand the judgment that is to come, the ones we come forth here is the elect. But that is the ones that are going to actually happen. They are the ones that actually going and use this word how it's supposed to be used. Others, either they're going to make mockery and scoff, or they're going and just use it for entertainment. Obviously, plenty of them is good. Whenever it has some kind of drama going on, that the video that's had the most videos. Not for them to learn something, because they like drama. Or what we are saying in this country, they like bacchanal. You understand? That the only reason why they just tune in. Not because they sincerely want to actually learn the truth. They just do it because drama. That's all. A show. Where you say, well, we have made a spectacle onto them. That's all they do. They're literally into these things for. But by doing that, they condemn it their own self. Because the scripture say, because the Lord say what they say, if I had not come onto them, they would have not sinned. If it is that they didn't know what the correct thing was, then they would have been somewhat innocent because they would have been ignorance. But the fact that they're tuning in just for drama, they still get into the ear and know the word. And internally they reject it.
That is why the Lord and TV. So that it's similar to what they can hear that word. But if they that's what I say, you understand? Hey, all of them that taking in the road, that tuning in just for whatever they personally only think people, right? And then they just to be. Some people love it just to be what's couple and scorners and have to have those that would be there. You know? And it's not judgment in the sea. Right? What? But we end up coming into the time where you see things the day is increasing. You know? And I say increasing, the days are moving fast. Right? Quick.
And
you know, the days being shortened. Right? Go ahead.
And that's a big topic I realize this week. I see more videos coming out concerning the days being shortened now. Right?
Yes, you see the increase of what it's like. Every single thing, it's fast, quicker. You know? You see the prophecies playing out rapidly. Right? You see no piece of already pushing that digital infrastructure, right? Where it comes to what the RFID chip and so forth. It is being pushed quick. Every single thing, you know, war. You know, for example, just last night, things when people sort of stopped, it continued. You know, but tonight you might see the same again. Right? This morning I wake up here and report a message stating that is that we had the power to say if we want to continue, if this won't stop or not. Right? Or they point out to the world like if all they could say something. No, we have. Right? The weak saying is strong. All these things again, prophecies. Right? Prophecies. Right? We see all these things taking forward. But that's you know, let me go back to the second and just 7.
But you see also you talk about getting shortened. It also, even scientists, I think you will post an article something in the past, scientists say the world's spinning faster than it used to do.
Yeah.
And even from a prophetic perspective, you're seeing shrubs and say what they say, certain things shall be increased at an exponential rate. Whereas you're seeing certain technological advancements, because like for example, how production is working. You use a hammer to create first you use a stone to create a hammer, if I'm not mistaken, and then from a hammer you use that to create machines, and then when you create machines you use that to make better machines. So the technology that they make they use that technology to make more advanced technology, so that are all causing things to advance quicker than it used to. Because before, when men had to do calculations, they don't calculate with calculators or like use normal things. They used to use at a certain speed. When we create our machine calculations for you, we speed up everything by, let me say, 20 times. And now you see technological advancements coming so fast now, whereas we were talking about some time ago. When we was younger, we used to play little brick games. You little brick man, little brick car driving. Now, the kind of graphics you see on cars, which is like about 20 years later. Look how it's looking. So yes, and even now, it's being increased even faster because of AI and certain quantum. I think Trump had signed some bill for quantum computers or something like that. Quantum, what call them? I think the building that the city is running at.
Data centers?
Yeah, data centers and things like that. All these different things they're constructing to be able to do all this fast computing because they have certain infrastructures that they put together.
I see even our government, the program is for data centers down here.
Yeah.
So,
that alone, somebody was saying that alone, whatever.
Yeah.
Something million.
Yeah. The government is signing an MOU with, I believe it is with Trump, but they're supposed to go to have a meeting in Israel with Netanyahu, right? But they say that they want to build a data center in the Caribbean, which Trinidad and Tobago would be the one overseeing.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. I didn't hear what I was. But I was thinking that money was for something, So I guess they thinking or whatever, so dream that when it is they do it here, they will be benefiting from it. You know, when you usually want to host it, they will want to bring some kind of wealth to you. Like one of the reasons why also there was this
I think they were talking about it will create, I believe it's 5,000 jobs or
so they say. I know what he promised, but really and truly we know I don't think automated.
Well, basically, it might just create the 5,000 jobs to build, but after the building,
it's more like the technicians going to be running it, and they want the technicians more or less so. It is something temporary, but we know like the wise and devil, the trickery, to try to sell you a dream to make you think that it will benefit you in some way, and really and truly, they're not about bettering the community. to start with data centers is destroy our environment. Everybody complaining. Somebody, I think as you said, post that video also with the woman who was complaining about the different the type of water. How the water was dirty and undrinkable in places like data centers compared to before.
Because they're not using well, from a video I watched, it's not salt water.
Yeah, it's fresh water.
It's fresh water.
Yeah. So, and they could
Water
use
that is used for more or less drinking.
low water. They getting their source of water from the one the land back. Who knows if that is the reason why they want the land to take the land from them to use it for that reason? Who knows? Because they just have a source of water, they just get to it using the waters. It could be that what they want the land to So we see these things happening. You understand? We see not only the time moving faster, but we also see technological advancements being done more rapidly. And we know, as we say over and over, these things are not for our benefit. Right? It's not for our benefit, it's not for our well-being.
Why is that the devil?
Why is that the devil? But they'll make you feel, anytime they're selling you something, they always make you feel that it benefits you, when eventually it benefits them. Most things right now going to automation, and that automation going more towards they having more control over you. I watched a video on cars the other day. The pass a law, it's not video on that, I remember. It's not video on that. The pass a law, whereas they say cars from 2026 go forward, they go and start to put certain automated things inside of it, like be able to scan you and to be able to record certain things. And it will be by law that they have to put that in vehicles. So you have once you buy a modern car from 2026 something or 2027 go forward, that law will be put in that camera and that voice identification stuff will be put built in your stuff, so that you don't have a choice, so to speak. You understand? And going forward, how they're going to move.
If I may add to you, also see that recently they come out and say that it had a shortage with the passport booklets, and now they're issuing a e-passport digital. You understand? And I was reading, I just a short article where they say the Minister of Homeland Security come out and defend the government decision because it's for better record keeping and security wise.
And people none the wiser. They think that this place have a long time to go on the science.
I would say that this time and season for everything that is no, but even the person.
Oh, the night, ticket night?
Not the ticket night, but the board. They it's like 5 weeks.
What's he saying? Say 1 Thessalonians 5:1, it says, but of the times and the seasons, it said, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you.
So you tell me season and need to write in there, because again, that season is still by itself. How you know, like for example, how you know you're going to read this? Just as a common reference, how you know you're going to read this season? Like you just see the weather change, you see a pattern of instead of fall, trees go to do something else, grass to grow a little more. That patterns and will take that and know that we're in this particular season.
Different signs you will see. And that going back now to what? When you take the mention and say to measure all these signs diligently in itself. Because the signs is still the time that we're in. And the signs that we're seeing right now is to know that we are the world. And we at the end. You understand? We at the end. Right? The end of all these things. We see the earth itself. You understand? The diminishing. You see the trees don't want to grow, the fruits they don't want to bear. Right? And all of these come from all these things happening right because of the wicked. And things will continue to go on a daily basis. They defile in the land. Right? And all this stuff, all these sorts of things, everything that's out of order, and who coming back to sit back in order is the Lord.
You know, the Lord. That is why we will continue to what the coming of the Lord. We know that today, that is why we are saying I hope that something happens soon. You know? That is why we in our mindset that we want things to happen. This place continue, hey, you really feel it's sort of say they're here for over 100 million years. You really think it's okay that in charge for over 100 million years, you know what all this place would be?
They're from America for 250.
And what's
Imagine they hadn't ready for that space.
I was watching a video where somebody was going about in different let me say neighborhoods, and they're showing you videos of what they don't normally show you on TV now, but the state that America really in with with drug addicts and it's in a bad state.
I don't know if it's the same video, but I saw one where I was walking around and seeing homeless people on the road.
Yeah, you seen homeless, drug addicts, people sleeping in the car, people.
Some people actually had a big thing going on the other day where people was actually moving towards like having like them RVs that you would live in. People was doing things like that because it was so expensive to be able to actually rent places. That's how tough it is right now. It's real tough right now. Right. And while it's that difficult, men spending $1 billion a day to blow men up. You understand? $1 billion a day, US, to blow men up.
Not even men, they're growing up. You know, youths. You understand? Youths, that is what they're doing. And again, that is a wicked prayer. You know? You saw on the crowd. You understand? But
right, verse 2. They say, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
yes, so that is what the Lord coming at that keeping night. You know, when they least expect it. But there are signs be given that will be the signs you have to pay attention to. You know? The things that are going to happen before that great and terrible day. And there's a lot of stuff that happens before that. You understand? That's why you have to pay attention to what is going on around you. Right? Because again, the time that we're in, the time that we're heading into, it's not going to be nice. And it's not nice right now. You see the amount of suffering, you see the amount of things happening. At any instant, you see, you could blink your eye and something popping up. Right? That's the time you can't even keep up with what's going on around the world. Right? You can't even keep up. Before it used to be rare. Right? Before it used to be rare. Like you would literally see like one, let me draw a reference, right? Like for example, earthquake. You see getting one major earthquake every 4 years and 6. Now you're hearing it every month. Now you're hearing it every week. You know? Now you see wars just going on right before your eyes. You understand? Now you see the pestilence every single day, and some other disease that they never heard from before. Right? Just emphasizing the time that we're in. It's just going and get worse. Yeah, hey, and again, coming out, you're seeing where wicked, they're pushing all this stuff. Like for example, the money data centers and all these things. Go and look up for parental control. Go and look at what they're doing with technology on the wall, like your door cameras and your cameras you have in a car. You know, the God's Eye concept, right? Go and look up Waze, for example, Waze, right? Waze themselves, the app they call Waze, is an app that is used to like navigate. It's like a GPS, right? And not any normal GPS as well. What I have is like, it will tell you, okay, you have a roadblock here, or you have a roadblock there. But Waze is actually controlled by the state of Asia, right? I have a picture here. Yeah, weird. Instead of governing law and jurisdiction, the terms will be governed solely by the laws of the state of Israel, without giving effect to any conflicts of law principles. Any dispute, claim, or controversy arises out of, connected with, or related to the terms and service will be under exclusive jurisdiction of the competent court of Tel Aviv district in Israel. Right? And that is not the only app that they will go to or the only thing that you do, and you'll see their name in it. They literally control and they're buying out majority of these apps and these companies that use these things.
Like I said, like you will see, like I said sometime before, when you look at these different organizations they put, because most of the things that infrastructure is input, it has been governmental organizations. It has been private sectors, right? Just like WNH. Oh, that is a private, that is not governmental. That is private, that is work with the government. So you see that plenty infrastructure that is implemented. There's being so-called private owned organizations, but there's work alongside the government to be able to accomplish certain things. So when they set these organizations up, these organizations, the reason why I set up in the first place is to be able to, in some way, aid with infrastructure they try to put in place, which will ultimately be controlled by a small group of people. Even if it might look so in the forefront, behind the scenes, that's what the police things together for. And like Facebook. Facebook wasn't created for women to just take out toothpaste and push the butt out and take out pictures and just communicate. It's a way of being able to mine data, to be able to keep track of people's movements, to keep track of their affairs, to keep track of like how it is look. That's why there's ask for certain verification, like facial and all these different things. It's a way of mining people's country, taking, like storing people's information, right? And eventually it's going to be put to use. All that information they store, they're going to use that information to be able to understand what people is doing on a regular basis. Because how people is, most people, where to go, it is for pictures. What it is do is for pictures. It is keep track of your location, so it be able to know where it is.
Your activities. Yeah.
Right. All these different things is for a reason. It's not just random. You understand? It wasn't just created for people to just do random nonsense. And that's how these people have become billionaires off of these different applications. Because they put there, set up to be able to accomplish certain tasks. Where ultimately, that way you see, I think just now to do social media, children go have to have children people over 16 who they use ID.
No, they're already so in England.
Well, that's for a reason. That was always the plan in it. That is for a reason. And who going to be having access to that information? Them. So that's what it's set up for. But gradualism, you do it slowly.
Yeah. Or they impact it. It's like for example, even how they use it, right? Even how they do it. In UK recently, that was a perfect example how sneaky they move. Because what it did was come and say, here what's going on. We're getting rid of children in the ages of 16 and below. They can't use social media, right? But doing that, in order to prove that you're not 16 and older, you have to use your ID, right? Or you have to upload some particular picture. No, there are different purposes of why they're doing it. You know, it's not because they just want to take pictures. No, if they didn't care about that, they would have stopped these things long time. Right? That's not the purpose of it. It's to see what you posting. It's to see where you upload it, so they know, well, okay, this is him. This is who we're looking for. Right? There's a reason why our videos be taken down. This and that. You feel that, you know? You go and post I believe it's Germany. Right? In Germany, a woman posted a meme. Right? When you know what, it's a famous meme with a small hat, right? And you rubbing the hand. So she posed and said, this is the people that control and what was on that? The radar place. And I can't remember, I never really follow up I'm not doing a video on it, but I never follow up of what happened after. I mean, she got charged, she didn't be in jail for like a month or something like that, and she didn't get charged, right? And just like many other instances where that happened, not for they doing it because they want to protect her. No, they did it for their reason. Wow.
Their agenda.
Their agenda. That is and one of the things too is like now they're coming with what? The chip. And one of the things I was saying, somebody recently saying is that when they had the chip inside of here, the internet would just be the closest thing there. So they're making it seem so good. You know, but they have a purpose of why they want these things to be that particular way. But I said, gradualism. Everything has its time, yeah, everything has its time. Everything has its purpose. It's set for a particular day. They always say, the children mentioned, talk about the prophecy, say, go and tarry, wait for it. But it surely must come across. These things must happen. Right? It must, but it's not to get that time where it would.
But they're getting so bad now that even scoffers right now, even though they're still scoffing, some of them like, yeah, well, we're not right. Shit, they get real. Because they're right now, them like Thomas. You understand?
Doubt.
They're not doubting in the beginning, they're like Thomas. But now they actually see it with their eyes.
If you go online, right, and you type up maybe on TikTok, Instagram, one of these pages, and you type in, no, this is excluding the brothers who put in the work. And that's what from a common man standpoint. You just go and type in RFID chip, you're going to see a million videos on it. And the majority of them going to tell you that it's what the MOTV. But who was the first pushing it out?
Yeah.
You know? Your person elders are bringing the stone, pushing it out. You understand? To know that it's this, and it's right now we're in that time where you're seeing it becoming a focus and talking about it. Elon Musk, Trump, Palantir, all of these guys talking about pushing that chip inside of it. You know, to stay well connected. I watch not really actually, nah. But there's one of these top guys was talking about is staying well connected to others. And this thing inside of you would have you well connected to everything. Right? Anytime I'm in. I hope they're going to catch some of all the chicks because of the pleasures. You understand? All the pleasures.
Comfort of this life. They wear everything at their fingertips.
Bring a script today, man. We have something else. So go ahead.
Right, you see how you know verse 2, right? They say 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 2. They say, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. They say, for when they shall say peace and safety, they say, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? So the scripture, and why it is that it will be perceived as sudden. We seeing that it happening gradually. They could be perceived as sudden to them. Why? Because they are not looking for it. Now, when scriptures say the Lord will come unto them at a time they are not aware, when they are not looking for it. They're not paying attention to the gradual steps that are taking place. Them right now, like just like the elder did say, that them like the frog in the pot of boiling water. The water getting hot and they're not recognizing it. Until eventually it starts to boil, and that's when they realize the goose cooked.
As they bring things gradually, they're adjusting slowly, not realizing what
because
taking place.
Like for example, where I work in, that many changes take place. And I heard somebody make a statement that made perfect sense. They're working there for probably about 20 years. But so much changes take place, they can't even remember how it was before. Because that whole gradual change take place, you already make so many adaptation states. You can't really remember too much of how it was in the beginning. And that's what's happening. That's why gradualism is such a powerful thing. When you affect somebody gradually, you can change somebody
without them noticing.
Without them even noticing, by doing things gradually. And then by the time they really realize, them done in the prison. They done gone, they done too far. You understand? That's why that's a real, and that's what he saw. That's why he saw so big on things like psychological studies and experiments.
Like I was watching before, right? Like the way how men used to be, like we say in the 80s, right? When you watch through television and entertainment, men dancing come down to the generation now. You seen the males, they're doing less masculine stuff. They're more into more feminine stuff, more dancing and pretty boy and
all they let us say is a product of the environment. There's the environment in. You understand? So they will become that.
Change the culture first.
Probably change the culture first. It become a normality. You saying that here, they're not going to understand that because guys are normal to them. You understand? They don't want to hear about how a man's supposed to be or he supposed to be. Right? Because when you look at the meaning of the word man, and that's the particular characteristics of it. Strong, confident, you know, all these things. Now, you tell a man strong today is that he's always pregnant and come to suicide because they don't. You know, but it's just not because he gets weak, just so, you know, because of how wicked make a man feel today. You know, and next thing, twisted chemicals in food, all these things, it's purity. Right? Give me a second, Ezra 16 and from verse 33.
Second Ezra 16 verse 33. Right? Second Ezra 16 verse 33. It said the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegroom. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine.
That can't make sense of that.
But no, you will.
That can't make sense of drafts. That cannot make sense of just bare destruction, because in times of war, the first things they kill off is the men, so they're the strongest ones. Women are usually spoils. You don't really kill off women because they're not threats. Then as usually spoil, they just take things for yourself after. A good example of that was Book of Eli. When he was saying it's not your concern, walk away. What do they do? Put a bullet in the man and they grab the woman and went. Because usually, yeah man, usually you'll kill the man off, and then you'll take the woman as spoils. So a lot of men going to be extra off just because they're men. You understand? You don't want men around, you don't need them. They're more like an obstacle to it. Women on the other hand, they will be compliant as long as they realize that one, will be safe around them, and two, will be useful to you in different ways. And man, you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of men going and get extra off one way or the next.
There are many ways that they will get extra. They tell the nature, they tell all the men go perish. Then the family, they tell the virgin around by groom. You know, that's how it's going to be. If the example, my Ukraine, why the woman was partying with the men on? So in war, giant, you know? Until them start get have a shortage. You understand? They have a shortage. No, this is so short, they started sending more drones. You know, now we can't risk men from this, you know? It might get worse. You understand? These kind of things are playing out, so we'll continue.
Right? He said verse 35. He said, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord.
That way you say, hear now and understand the servants of the Lord. You say, here, that is something that these two things you're not. It's never same with parents. You say, like when two 1 years come with the other.
Yeah.
That's how it's going with these two children. You hear it, they're just going to come with the other side.
Because
and even if they hear it, they're not going to understand. And so it's not given unto them. Right? That's why in this time, you hear the person say this, if they don't hear, come with them. There ain't time, and no time to force nobody to abide by it. No. They won't feel it. People don't hear this feeling. Well, the Lord tell them, you see, all they hear is proof, but they're going to feel it now. You understand? He rebuked them, come over, flames of fire. Because they didn't take the rebuke by the word, they want to take the rebuke by the fire, they want to feel it. That's what it is. What is blown the word? If you would think it to them and they want to hear this word, if they don't hit them, hey, we shall happen. We shall listen.
Jeremiah, you see, in the time when they're trouble, that is when they will see our rise and see this.
That's the only time. That's the only time there's one of the doors. Only when the trouble started hit them, that's the only time there's what you. That's the only time.
and I the pattern a tutor that Jake from Moses time come down, come straight down.
Until it has been here going on. Move your corner. When we need, you know, the boss people, and you know, they've been for SSB. When we need you, you know, other than that, just when you're corner. But I know the Lord has He's the one calling the shots. You know, that's a real disrespectful thing to do somebody with power. Imagine a man having dreams. You just say, I'm a great king, say the Lord. I'm an dreadful among heathens. That nobody that deserves. Imagine the greatest thing that exists. And somebody you create. Imagine you create a robot. And you're what like, hey, that means you're poor. Right? Other than that, you mad. You want to take a big rock and just, you understand? You want to take a big rock and just smash that into little pieces. That's how these people is out here. You understand? They had that kind of attitude towards the Lord, like if them is the shit, and he should do what they want, and that's what they do.
Because the Christianity teaching, like the Lord that abide by every way that they act, or every way that they eat. Like for example, this fellow will not come up here. screw up your face, but what you have in your hand? You have cover a Bible. You understand? And some other things inside of it. They come screwing up your face. Screw up your face with you, so come you need solid. You understand?
But when you pass a tenant this year is your year, and nothing working out, you scrub
Screw up
your
your
face.
face. Now you don't do it, screw up your face then. You understand? Come and give it back to you. Don't screw up your face going from the governor.
And sowing seed for years. And sowing seed for years.
And water that seed, right? She like doing great.
Like for example, you go India and you're talking about how it is black people that fight against those. But we know it's curses. You understand it's curses. But I take this man fighting on this one here, this one here. I'm going to say what you in mind. You understand? We put them in place. Even if they have one that out of the ordinary, yeah, that he be able to. I won. Where when it come like if you come to a neighborhood of Jake, it's like a 50 of them. You know? But it's curses. You understand? And it's disobedience against the Lord. Right? You think about this, the Elamites and them, they abide by their book. They abide by their book. Moab and them, they are the ways of Buddha. So they just abide by whatever it is they think about. But Jake, come to the laws of the Lord, the man.
Now I say Christianity is anti-Christianity is the most hypocritical doctrine that they love to read and quote a book that they don't apply to their lives. Every other belief does apply in the book that they just read to their life. If the Hindus and them believe that have been a little hot for the little thing, that is really hot and there's every day throw milk on it.
Put the flowers by the idol.
Yeah, though it's wicked, but they at least just follow up on what they believe. Christianity, anti-Christianity, is the only doctrine that I can think of that doesn't actually try to apply the principles. Like I said the other day, you will talk to somebody who does talk about, oh well, God said to forgive and till you and cheat. There's somebody that here with them or the family now. When I'm called up as now, I remember you watch this movie Friday After Next, with the old woman who was talking only the holy stuff.
And she would not go, she
So
saw.
that cause she sang to run behind them. That is anti.
That was one of the statements. That was one of the statements. They was killing them the other day with the protest. We had the protest and so on thing. And that was one of the statements that was killing them with. So they're protesting for crime. But there's somebody come and call or something and it's the same gunmen or they're protesting about again, so they're coming to the call. But I cheer. It's just wickedness all over. They come and tell you, well, hey, no, crime too high, thing, and this and that and all these things. But do something to that. And it's the same gunmen that committing the crime, they go in court. You understand? Women dying, look, I'm not reading somewhere in the news. A woman, she get murdered somewhere down
She go on a central.
right?
Yeah.
So the things just happen and we don't ever may be now. I don't talk about the one with the fella. It's a different one, you know. Right? Because the friendship with him wrong, you know. A woman will come out and go, wait, what you going on? They're attacking me, thing. But it's the same men or the same women. So that is what it is. You know? Again, they go back to what we started with. They just love Jake, they love wickedness. That is what they love.
And now they're doing that. Let's say, which one of you people are making smile or the drug dealer?
Yeah.
Which is drug dealer? But then when crime going on and murders taking place, save our women. Jake is the problem.
It's not a movie I did watch thing, but basically the movie is, you know, this woman and this fella, they grew up together now, boy. So as they grow, they fall in love thing, they moved into the city because they're living in a small village. Now the woman, she grew up churchy mother is at church, wherever the case, right? And when she moved to the city now, she ended up in this job. She didn't get to do the job that she wanted to, so she ended up in this place, you know, consulting, setting like a matchmaking thing now, right? And one in the most wealthiest men is a young boy, yes, see her and come in and thing, you know.
I know from that.
And she somewhere on some business trip, you know, say it's a business, whatever the case, and she was liking the nice treatment. You understand? So she started to watch certain things she husband doing, and she started resenting. And end up sleeping with the man, not knowing the man, yeah, give she HIV. Give she AIDS now, boy.
When she find what she feel like a she's sick.
So you know that
That is the American dream. That way call it the city of dream. Why? Because people that's come there. But what it does do first is that there's portray a certain lifestyle. And whenever you see America portraying a lifestyle, that's like we was talking about people suffering and so forth. But the lifestyle that's portrayed is usually of the small people on the top who live in the best. Who get to stay in the best hotels, so on and so forth. So everybody now that want to migrate to that place to want to be those people,
Yeah.
which majority of people don't get to.
Can not only that, they use the jakes or the poor man to make him imitate that lifestyle, to make people feel like, alright, they come here, they can make it to be this. Yeah, they can make it to be this, they can accumulate this.
Because men drinking champagne and chubby money,
Yeah.
trying to make it look like they're champagne people. See that people, I know people that do that. I hear people talk about that, like they will know people coming, the family coming, they will rent a big flat screen TV to have a certain image, and as soon as the family gone, they will let them take it back because they're trying to live up to that standard.
It's pride of life. That is what it is. Pride of life. They have a particular look, and they just go back to pride. So when I pride disappear and then drop down, what happens to them? That is why you see a lot of them when they come back, they might go to America, but when they get deported, and when they come back, they stay quiet. Because it's that pride, you know? Is there a guy on thing, a Trinidadian said, he's supposed wait, I think here, and I come back to Trinidad, eventually, we're going to come straight back in. So now keep up with the judge thing, and what went to he come to play down, smash him out. You're talking about you not coming back here, and I was saying, get back here. Why? You understand? But again, let's go back to that. Now, we know apartheid, them is the full country. We consider push and pull. We use like a push, we just push people out. Them is a pull, them is draw people into them.
The forgers of lies.
This is a particular reason why they're there. Bringing everybody towards that boiling point. You understand? Yeah, come. That's why you should have mentioned that land. Right? When you mention that particular land, you have to show it's about America. You know? All the rest of it's going to get touched, but you know, that land is specifically America. You understand? What do you mean?
Alright, go down a minute.
Yeah, go on.
Alright, he said, I read over verse 35. He said, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord. Behold the word of the Lord. Receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake.
So the scripture says, it says, behold the word of the Lord, right? And what and receive it. That's something you have to do. You know? Take this word and receive it, not just take and just like go past it or go on to something else. Right? Because that same word is what they want to come back to.
Or receive all
But
it.
we say, well, but again, it was mentioned with the farm. That why there, the scripture, the prophecies is about answer for basically everything. Right? That's how perfect the word of the Lord is. That when all is do ready to receive the word, the Lord has something waiting. And where all would not receive it, or they can't get it, matter of fact. And that is where the family would come in. You know? And the family would come in, or that is when it's time to look for it, the Lord has something there set that they wouldn't be able to get it. Just like many other things. When the farmer said that happened, we don't really know what they call the Lord, but the Lord has just said no. Just no. That's something set for that. Every time like that, one phone to all the other boys.
The season for repentance and to be saved, that season gone.
Okay, say what they say they shall go through and teaching it, but can't find it. So even how now the one I'm interested in it. Even when the time comes and tell them, you start to hit on the one to seek it, but then you don't.
No, well, that I tell you, they say, like, in the world, they say, if you miss it this year, it always are next year. You understand? So if you miss this season of repentance, on the next side, all will be good. Because the season of repentance closed and we don't enter into Jacob trouble, so you have to go through this season in order to get to the next side where it will be good.
Because you know, if you see this, I see what you see, understanding. You don't have understanding to know that it's not something. Yes, we know ultimately all things will be saved. But we also know that we don't want to live in the shade. You understand? The elect is a different category. You see how the Rothschild and Rockefeller is a different category of people.
Even before the kingdom itself, right? Even before the kingdom, they were able to think about it before that. They don't want to be caught in the middle. Who wants to be caught in the middle? They will not be faced. They think about it like that. Even the kingdom project, the kingdom is most important. You understand? But even before that, what was the scripture mentioned that the Lord will what? He will protect you through the time they want to go through. The Lord is our defense. So the farmers will feed you. You understand?
Imagine the beast at the field, the beast not being at peace with you. Yeah, go ahead.
The 2nd Esdras 9 verse 7 is say, and everyone that shall be saved. Go up, sorry. Go up a little bit. I was on this, right? This is right. Yeah. It say verse 6, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
And effects and signs, and that is effects and signs, and that is signs of the end. Right? That is why Scripture mentioned plagues come and shall remain them. Right? They cannot come and out from it. That's why you see all these things take place, like the war, when the war comes back. How much times has America tell you that the war done? Why? There are particular reasons of why they're telling you the war done, because they don't want the market to crash or things to increase. But eventually, it, no matter what it is said, it's going to crash nonetheless. Right? So the tools is like the natural disasters that take place, right? All these things, signs that they being made manifest, they coming. As you look at the word manifest, it says to be made clear or evident, right? Be clear or evident. Like somebody the disastrous stuff happening all around the world. You hear Jakes making statements like, oh, why this happening? Or how is this happening here? This never takes place to die again. That is signs. Places that wasn't never touched is being touched. You know? Things that they never seen before being done.
Then back and exploding from parasites, diarrhea. Imagine explosive diarrhea.
Explosive diarrhea.
I hear that lasting for weeks today. I hear weeks that I hear lasting for. Imagine you have it so bad that you can't go to work because you have explosive diarrhea. And they say it's something that existed to some degree, but it's right now becoming much more rampant. You understand? You see all these different things. Ebola that exists long time too, but it's becoming much more rampant and it's becoming worse. You see them a new strain, if I'm not mistaken. It's a new strain that actually worse than the first strain.
There's always a new strain. What's the so famous? There's always a new strain. You know? And from all, I think it's yesterday or the before reading that it's totally gone out of control. Now, we know it's because they have to get out of control, but again, the Lord said what? The pestilences, right? And all these things. Where check, second and
Yes.
Second.
Verse 7. Verse 7 will say, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith wherein he has believed.
Like we go there, say we believe. Acts the same scripture saying here, you shall be saved by your works, your faith, and where you believe. Acts the same if you believe. So in order to have faith, you have to believe. And you have to have works. Now in order to have to do work. All of them work in conjunction with one another. So you need them. You know? Ask yourself if you have it. You have that. That's the next thing too. Is no someone believe in it, you do your work. It's simple as that. It's not getting around with it.
You know what will happen.
You know what will happen if you do it. And that is what it is.
The apostle said, but know the terror, you know the first way. It wasn't a nice thing to be an apostle. Imagine you go into an area and then want to beat you and throw you in prison. But men know whatever going on. If I don't do this, oh man, I would say to Matthew, say, fear not him that is able to kill the body, but is not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him that is able to destroy both body and soul. They know what we be afraid of. They know. So they don't know what's going on. Yeah, people might hate you. Yeah, it might be a little. Say when they come to the Lord, if you face over temptation, it will be difficult to go through certain things. But we understand that if you want to choose the bad way and go do it, what will happen? There's nothing going to get better. You see men, people thought it was hard and leave because they think to themselves that if I come into this, nothing is working out and now nothing is working out in our day. They're not getting what they want out of the situation. Because they were still getting taken care of, they were still being able to make ends meet, but the voluptuousness of this life, they wasn't getting that, and that was a problem to them. And that's where the problem really was to them. They were still able to survive, they still had health, they still had the ability to do certain things, but they wasn't getting to be like the wicked. Otherwise scriptures say, envy not the oppressor. You understand? When you envy the oppressor, because you what you say, you're giving you under the wicked, the oppressor has everything. You watching me and you find you have a nice car too, and this and that, you will envy the oppressor. And that will cause you now to want to stay away from the right thing, because you want to live more like that. And that's where the problem will start. They're not just suffering per se. They're still able to make ends meet, still survive, they still have food. Some people have no food right now. We have food, you understand? It might be as well after something like life, but you have it. But when you want to desire to live like the oppressor, that is when you start to go down there. And now you're going to do something you shouldn't be doing to be able to live like that. And that will sway you away. Take away from the map. The cares of this world, show the world and make it unfruitful. That is where they start with wanting more than you need. They start to drift away.
As time increase, time get work, they remember that, hey, time might hit where you might do work, but I might do work, you might do work because the work can't sustain everybody that they place. Or you might think things were so hard, you just come here. You know, we're seeing that right now. You know, you hear in the grocery store, you have about we are shortages coming soon. You know, you see businesses closing down for whatever pressure is going on with government and them and so on. That is where now you believe, your faith comes that you know the Lord will see it through it. You understand that way you question it. That is sometimes like, for example, for me, question it. It is where it is sometimes. You understand? It is where it is majority of the time because you know that way your faith is, you know the Lord there. You know, you just continue asking and praying unto the Lord. They can put out for you. You understand? And you will see it through it. And however your part will be, that's what I accept it as that's what it is. Right? But for these concerns, they have a lot of stuff waiting for them. And it ain't good. It ain't nice. You understand? It ain't nice. I was watching I have a video to do with this this place that flooded recently, right? And in the flooding, that real place was flooded, I should say. But one of the videos, and that one place that there was stinging snakes now, right? Like there was mining snakes something in the back of because you don't have a short where the place is. And the flood come and take all. You understand? And the snakes now is cobra and all them things like red poison on the ship.
Alright, good.
And that video where you're showing the snake who were getting washed out with the flood water, but they started dispersed because cobra doesn't can swim. You understand? And people who hiding on top of buildings and things. You know, snakes there that are around here, this one trying to do here. You know, it gets so bad where even the government, they had to send out like first dispatchers to go and hold these snakes because they get real bad. And I was like, hey, this is the Lord saying you go play, hey, he go appoint them to wait with 4 kinds. You know? Things like this are an example of it. When you trying to, you protecting yourself from one disaster, which was the flood. You know? The flood was so bad, imagine this, the flood was so bad. You want to buy your house. So you know it's a bad flood.
Yeah.
And on top of your house, you know, you have to protect yourself from a snake. You know?
I think it's such an out-of-time situation because it's a time war, not straight up, but it's all around you and go up. Like it can pass so many different places. Like you already have to.
It's kind of hard to escape from it. Yeah.
You already. That's why in the parable you say you lean your hand
And a wall.
and a serpent bit there. You didn't even know that was there. You understand? You thought everything was cool. What for the first day is such a funny feature.
I was watching an article. They were saying that it's a type of a python, right? They say basically where that how to put it, that species of python was, it migrates. So now they're finding it's something that stays where it usually don't be now, right? So you're seeing now that the beast, they're spreading out, yeah.
You're putting yourself in peace. And they have a job too. If you spread that Lord moving
I
on
wonder
the
if I see it there.
You understand? When you get that this is warmer than it should be, it is colder than it should be because them things is cold blood creatures. So they need warm environment to stay. That's why people, if it is rainy season, snake is come in your house. Because it can't take the cold.
Can't take the cold when it warm.
So in places where probably used to be warm, you don't take it more cold now. So more than these creatures kind of migrate now to places that are more comfortable for them. So he more or less setting creatures up to be able to fulfill his will. It's simple so.
Yeah, they say piece by piece, everything is fair.
Gradualism.
Gradualism. Right, the Lord mentioned it was about Solomon, he could have break the judgment of the all at once. He could have do that. But he still give you time to what to repent, to turn back. You know? But gradually things will get worse and worse, just like that. You hiding from then on our next flooding video, it's one would know with the flood gets so bad, crocodiles are coming in holding areas and shit. You know? Man, like, it should be thinking there's some big crocodile, right? You know? These kind of things, you know, the simple things like that.
I remember seeing somewhere else. I think it was a female lioness. Like she ended up slipping off a hill and ended up, she probably had some hippos. And right after she run past the hippos, some crocodile was trying to snatch she now. And one crocodile ended up coming up and snatch she by the leg and pull she down and death spiral. And you don't know from that point, once death spiral take place, you ain't coming back. That's it.
I don't think it was a lioness.
Now the one I think it looked like a lioness to me. They had someone that was watching while it was happening. I don't know if you've seen the video or not. You be talking about it, I don't know. But to me it looked like a lioness in the video.
No, I don't think it was a lioness. It was a different animal.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Nah.
It looks same color. It didn't look same color. But what I know is that they reach up and snatch it. You see how big enough crocodile? Once that snatch it and pull in the water and do that spiral, that's breaking up.
That is drunk, that is the tactic to drunk here too.
Yeah.
There's a drum here also.
Well, that's the way they get the meat from one another. Is that they go bite in, but they don't bite you on trunk. They bite you on straight because that's the way they take all the meat now.
And also break up the bone.
Yeah.
And when you spin it, so you want panic. So that also the drumming in a sense, so like a combination of things. Once that whole you inside a spin, brethren, you gotta be real knowledgeable to really, but if you panic, you want that.
No, well, they will panic.
No, in a normal, that's even that trained person you understand. A man who understands crocodiles, you hold your breath and when spiral down, you might try to fight outside. But if it's a person who's not aware of these animals, and you're panicking, you're going to die. You're going to die. No, I'm being honest. A man who understands how it is working, he might take a getaway. You croc hunter, you won't enough to get that spiral. You know what to expect. You have knowledge of it.
Yeah, I do.
But fear.
Yeah,
hear something.
And even that, you don't treat that person animal to become more dangerous.
Aggressive, yeah.
Yeah, remember that is what's going on. They see good. Only see, like for example, people playing with certain things, like they play with the atoms and neurons and all this kind of stuff, causing animals to be to the places and perform, you know, and all these things. It's causing them to do what? Everything to be out of order. Coming in, but I the Lord will. Yeah. You know? Why did you second address?
Yeah. 16. 16, I'll read over 36, right? Second address 16 and verse 36. You see, behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake, before the plagues draw nigh and are not slack.
But so you see what you say?
So Salakia, he said, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack.
So you see, they say believe not the gods. Why? Because all people here with their belief system, it is because they believe in another God. You understand? Either the God that the system push on them, Serapis Christos, whatever other idol, whatever doctrine that goes with that particular God, that belief system. And they believe in that belief system. That peace and safety is of another God. That is not of your version.
That's right.
You understand?
That's another God. That's the God in the Bible.
Exodus 15 and 3. So the Lord is a man of war. A man of judgment.
Every single God had their own belief, right? It's like a system. So when you go behind a God, you have to follow what that God is. The crazy thing about it is that people want God in the Bible to follow them. It don't work so. You understand? For example, the churches that follow they say Jesus. But when you watch the whole Jesus concept, it comes to a particular belief that has nothing to do with the Bible. It's about structure to follow. It has nothing to do with the Bible.
You know? They get sacrificing from it. Causing your child to partially fire to Molech. That's a reason why they say to Molech, because that is Molech's requirement of what you have to do to serve him. And the god of the Ashtoreth, the god of the Ammonites, if I'm not mistaken. All these different gods have a particular structure that they want you to follow. Blood sacrifices, like human sacrifices, a particular god is required. Most heathen gods is required. You understand? So it's a matter of a structure to follow. When it comes to the structure of your Hashem Yoshai, we know is guys, stupid guys. Yeah.
I want to know where
guys. Yeah, he have a particular structure in the form of your Hashem Yoshai. We know that we are supposed to do it. We know there are certain things that we require to do and certain things he wants us to not do. You understand? Every have a structure to follow. And have a certain teaching that goes along with it. That's why when we come out here and the Lord say what? When the Lord speaks and we say, they were amazed at his doctrine. You understand? When you say what they say, they neither marry, nor give it unto marriage, but like the angels in heaven. They say they were amazed at his doctrine. Because even though it was the same book they was reading, the way that it was taught was different. And the same thing today. How we just teach the scriptures compared to how the scriptures be taught in society, that's much more stuff crazy. I don't mean that.
And as this week I was telling somebody that I said, from the time of slavery come down, the things that our foreparents would have learned would have been handed down from generation to generation. So up until this time, we would have been doing things that we would have thought is right, is the right way. You understand? But according to the scriptures, it is not. The things that people deem to be holy or righteous is not lining up with the scriptures.
Yeah, for example, it's like something else recently, somebody talking about ancestors and mother nature. All those things, this concept that the thing will be good. But when you actually go back to it, it's literally witchcraft. You know? And Father Time, all the stuff is about witchcraft. Other words, that nothing to deal with you. You know, you can't mention God and mention ancestors and name the same thing, you know, you'll be afraid to be
Yeah.
Call upon the ancestors to help and
Matter of fact, I did a video on it, and I remember that's where it's Venezuela. Because it seems that people could hit your celebrating a day after.
what festival?
I can't remember the festival, but I thought there are many festivals that take place, one just one of them. But one of the ones that they were celebrating was Ogun and Show, and Ogun and Show.
Ogun, yeah.
It was just African board. And it was prayed to the ancestors and so forth and so on, right? And it's things that in that time, they do all of that. Where your ancestors will come and help you.
And the Mexicans have a call at the end of the day.
Yeah.
They have a Mexican animated movie about that.
So they have, they very skeleton creation and so
Yeah.
forth. You know? All these things go back into the world, on wars and so forth. That's nothing to do. They're not going to help you, they're not going to do with salvation and other things, do what is right.
Die necromancy. I'll go back to witchcraft.
You know, the Lord give you a whole, you know, for example, the churches will mention Exodus, they will talk about Exodus 20, right? And they will mention things like the Ten Commandments and so forth. But they don't even follow the first one. People follow the first one. Yeah? And that's why there's no. This has nothing to do with them when it comes to that whole belief person in Christianity, Catholicism, whatever it may be. It's just right and in the Bible. It really has nothing to do with love. You understand? You're telling me I can't know what that was on me. But when you go in the churches, there are statues, there are all kind of things.
I think it's all over the world.
Yeah.
You know, people just say we all praying to the same God. We just call them different names. Yes, we just call them different names.
Hey.
And then we understand when the Lord himself says, when the Matthew is saying in the red letter, he said, let them alone. Yeah, if the blind lead the blind. He said first, he said, let them alone. If you realize that it's not about our life, let them alone. So what cast not on fools on the small
Revelation says, those are he that is wicked, let them be wicked still.
Leave them alone. I don't waste my time with people again. When you know communist thing and you're spicy, you care about everybody, but we understand now that everybody is not going to get this. If I realize I talk to a man once, twice, and he do our time, Bridget, and you see him, guys, and you move along, because we understand is the righteousness to be after. We are after those that want to do the right thing. We're not trying to tie nobody in no basement and try to make them follow laws, you know, like how some campers do it something I go when they don't break the law or beating them, literally beating them all kind of thing. We're not about that. If you realize you do our time, then just do. See you next time.
Separation.
See you next time. I might have to deal with you still because we live in the same environment, but I don't know. You can't really see you next time.
But
Yeah. Verse 37, he said, behold, the plagues draw nigh, and are not slack. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb. Which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
And we in that time and that those pains happen and it's funny right now. Right now, people are real suffering. And it's not, we imagine we see articles here about 38% of the environment of people in the country can't afford proper lights. Right? We see in that. And in some places, just like remember when the war in Iran first started, within the first 2 days, they literally showing you videos of a missile get intercepted and civilians riding and they see it falling and them running away. So that they will fall on top of them. That people around you will suffering just from war alone. When talk about the earthquake that has happened, people suffer from people suffering from that. There are people suffering from all these other all kind of different stuff. There are real suffering taking place right
because
now.
right now food shortage, people rationing food.
career and suffering going on right now. But the ones who not directly really going through it, they're not living that hard. Because they're not peace and safety mindset. They think that just now things will get better. That is all they have going on in their mind. They have hope in Egypt.
That is on the other side. You know, Jake say on the island, I just say that and to do it.
No, but even for the ones that suffering here, because we would know people who suffering. We see with people in high places would know people who suffering too. But they think to themselves that eventually things will get better and that will never reach to them. That is their mindset. It will never reach to them because they have this contingency and that this investment and that put in place. So my train will be good.
I was watching is a video Amanda's do a Jake, well look like Jake, right? He was basically saying like he giving tutorial now on for people to invest in these companies that helping build like the data centers and things. Yeah, to take the money and invest for them so that they'll get great return now. Basically what you say in the video.
Hang yourself.
Yeah, hang yourself.
You say hang yourself. I wait second, you say hang yourself. So once you invest into that, when they get that, you're not going to get no big bulk that they're promising you. They tell you hang yourself.
But even though it's not going to benefit you in the long run, it might benefit you any time they're putting it together.
But that all of them are to the illusion, that dream that they instill to them. Prosperity. Thinking that they believe that the system they put in place is to make them better.
Make their lives better, yeah. Easier.
They trust in that. They say they trust in the horse because they are
Right? He said verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. Alright, verse 38, he said, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth a son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains can pass her womb, which pains whom the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
Remember, this is childbirth. The example of the childbirth. Everything just takes, our mother face pain going 2 months, right? But when that child ready to come out, then birth plan, then birth pain, right? And then you know? Yeah.
The scripture say what great pain, yeah, them bawling. Bawling, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before you go and have things on that particular, you know, in that labor time when the destruction, that is when you want to see what you do.
Yeah.
You know? Well,
right? He say, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn.
But you have to go through the pain. This is that pain. It's not going to be slack. It's coming.
And nobody to deliver you in that time.
Other than the Lord.
Other than the Lord.
I just mentioned when you see that sermon instruction. They might see them come down. Right? You come down.
I say that them
going up. You know? Right up in the up, you know?
them shooting stars,
a lot of them right now is a lot of people right now, they're seeing time. So you're seeing them like they put halfway in and halfway out. So you see a lot of them starting to more visits to the synagogues and you start to see them showing out with more interest and a safety net, you know. They then go come to declare themselves to what the Lord is. But at the same time they're trying to pass right.
No, I was going to say that's the author saying that is a handful. Because even though plenty people seeing what's coming on, they're not basically stopping to say, I think we
had enough.
Yeah, we had enough. We realize days getting shorter, and you know. Let me turn to the Lord now. They of the mindset, you know, they say All the scripture says basically what people just saying how long I hear the Lord coming.
It's like a park. But
Yeah.
some who will be trying to look for a little security inside.
Like my co-worker, right? When we was talking and I asked him, I say, will you believe the mark of the diesel? The MOT? And he say, well, the CHIP, right? And I was telling him, I said, well, that's not the major sign. I said, but that's not the only sign. And he's telling me, he said, boy, it's having earthquakes and years, how much of 100 years now, the sky turning red and all these things.
I was reading that in the comments. So, what went on?
So that always happening.
I remember when we had a particular, we had about 2 weeks, 2 days after, right? And it was shared. And someone come and say, this is not normal. And then a man come and say, wait, this is not normal, this happened millions of years ago, and everything is simple. So that is myself is pain, because again, one of the things with them is that they never want to see this place end. And they just don't want to admit that the prophecies and so forth happening. But eventually, again, who don't hear the feel? Because right after that, you know what went on? You had 4. We had 4. Why then come back and say it's not natural? Because that is something not natural to happen. It's not.
And then some go double down on it.
Yes, some of them
They will know and they will actually double down. Remember, it was 10 commandments already, right? In Moses. Remember, when it is Moses that come and talk to Pharaoh, and they went through the first set of plagues, whereas it was more natural based. So they get more like the frogs, the locusts, the more natural based ones.
Mosquitoes
And if you come in, and you come and say, is it your God's desire that frogs come out of the river and flies plague people? These things were done of themselves and of no God. Yeah, you see. And then Moses come and tell you what's going on. Well, alright. You will see something different.
Yeah.
You will see hail fall from the sky and burn as fire on the ground, which is not something natural because it is ice. You understand? To see ice fall and burn as fire, you know that that is not a natural phenomenon. And these people getting caught up in that right now. They see disasters happening, but because it's more falling in the category of natural
and not supernatural.
and not supernatural, they're not really taking it on.
Yeah.
The time will come when the Lord will bring supernatural things. And that is when people will realize shit real.
That is when they will believe.
That is when men now will not be, as the scripture say, they're going to be going to and fro to seek the word. That is when now they're going to realize shit real. Because they know that a natural phenomenon can't explain this. You understand? That is the time, that time will come, that when people will actually take things serious. But for now, everybody's studying carnival. Everybody's studying fete. Everybody's studying to frolic. You're not studying to serve the Lord. You're studying to fulfill the desires.
And knowing Jakes, you know, in that time, that is the time they now they're going to want them, they're going to be going through the book of Revelation.
Men will not be the best in that time. Men will not be the best researchers in the world. Men will not start going through Google, asking AI.
What Revelation say about the end?
Yeah, I will not take it serious. The scriptures say that. It say, I'm going to go to the correct one. They say in the time that's in Proverbs 1. Proverbs 1, 20 something, where they say what? They say when distress and anguish come upon you, that is when you will seek the Lord and you will not find him. The Lord said that.
Yeah.
There will some that will seek him early, and then there will be some that will wait until destruction comes, and then they'll want to seek him. And when that time comes, it will be too late for them.
They want to get the best about King now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it had some pastor that said that he said if he had to go to heaven, he wanted to go to heaven before. Or some shit like that, like he was in hell. But that makes sense. But that's how they just think. They want to enjoy this place and they want to enjoy the on the other side too. But that's as we talk about when you're serving a God, you have to go along with the structure. And the structure of the Lord is that you have to suffer for righteousness here in order to receive the kingdom to come. Now I say what woe unto you that are rich because you receive your consolation. You did what was required of this kingdom to be able to receive the riches, so you have to go down with it.
And they didn't pick up the cross and went through the tribulation and all these things that was set for you to inherit. one
the rebel army, the second Ezra 7.
yeah.
You understand? He didn't go down the narrow path, you understand? If he crossed not this, how could he expect to receive the ocean on the other side? A lot of our people they don't want to do that.
You see the promises that are in the life. You see the promises of the people, you know? And that's part of it. That is why it will be tested. It will be tested. So because it want to be tested. It will be tested so that you become worthy to see whatever it is tested for. To receive a prize.
They say he tried them to know what was in their hearts. If they would keep his commandments or not. They say that why he caused them to hunger and then fed them with angels food. They're just paraphrasing. There's a reason why he did that to try them. And when he tried them, wow, the semen went off. So you know, you could have see who was ready for him and who wasn't. You understand? Men was at the bottom of the hill waiting for Moses 40 days and 40 nights. By the time, who knows, probably by the time after a couple of days passed, Moses abandoned me. You know, it's like if men suffering down there and think so hard. I sure men had things to eat.
Hey, Moses ain't come back, you know. I feel something happened to him up there, you know.
Because they never believe in the first place.
And that is why faith now had to go along with the route, because the scripture tell you that because it had a
One of the ways that one of the ways
yeah, he said Moses. Yeah. He said when Moses tell him when he come back, he said all who on the outside, so come on the side and draw your swords.
Very actually the punishment of idolatry is death. And that's to show you, they just try to make it look like if the laws didn't exist before Moses actually give them the laws and so forth. So if that was the case, how did they know to put them to death?
Yeah. What crime they committed?
Yeah, what crime they committed? All these things is little snippets. All these things is little snippets.
There's like you know, men say, yeah, this Christian coming to men that Abraham was not Israel. You know? What do you mean? What do you mean? What are you trying to say? But they just them trying to incorporate other nations into the promises and into the business. You see that? Do we understand?
The nation came through Abraham. Yes, but in a lineage started with him.
Is the promise?
The promise was from him, come straight down. But that's how many try to sneak in the other people. That's how you make that statement, right? So you could just ask a man, alright, Abraham, alright, cool. So if that is the case, so the people who didn't come from Abraham then, they'll try to find some other thing to graft them into. And that's what they all about. That's why they like use the term mankind. You see that term mankind? That's how they're trying to graft everybody into the system. And that's not how it is.
And that's how it will never be. Because we need a more here nation into their prophet, into their promises. No. Ammon and Moab and all the things. No, they for themselves.
That is why the elites, they marry into the family, you know, right? Don't feel Elam and Ishmael and them coming to partake in this rulership.
Even Elam or like different other like Buddhism or different things. Even if they allow you into their groups to socialize and things, they don't see you as of themselves.
Yeah.
That's why they don't even want you intermarrying with the trend and kind of thing. You're not about our life.
If you end up in a circle, it has to be for some reason to serve a purpose or something.
Other than that, you're not there. You're not there. It's because you're useful to them. Like I said, they don't see you as just like, they don't see you as one of them. They don't. And they never will. And that's okay. We have no problem. We have no problem with that. Because we understand they're supposed to be for them and we're supposed to be for us. You understand?
They forever be for themselves. Because again, the person, no matter what you do, no matter which thing or the person will always stay. You understand? They say we are signed on there for forever. It didn't say for a short time, it said forever.
Imagine you you had the living power as your Lord. You had to serve the one true God. And you telling the Lord, hey, Lord who make you, Here what going on now? You feel like are you a king? Are you a king like the other nation? Me really want you over here. Give you a king now, give you a man over here.
We understand.
You understand?
That people inside because one, I told the Lord ordained it to be. And secondly, the Lord had in the heart. They had in the heart. If the heart wasn't hard, as the scriptures say, if the first promise was promised, there would be no need for the second. So it had to be that way. You understand that? It's like how when Ezra was complaining, you're like, why you call Adam to go up? And he explained it on thing. He said because before everything was wise, and when Adam transgressed, everything had a purpose to serve for those actions. So we know why. We understand. Like when we come into this truth, like before I come into the truth, I was like I'm a Christian, you don't understand. Like how snake talking so much and how they get shredded and nothing is to make sense. When I come to the truth, I understand it now. Now I still say with all I get to understand it, nor understand. So we understand that here we're going on. It's not really up to them. It's up to the Lord's desire on who will understand and who wouldn't. And for the ones who wouldn't understand, they will be in darkness until the time of the Lord returns. You understand? And that's how it is. So all those things were made like Eve. So if you say what is that desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. It was always ordained to be that way, but something had to take place for it to happen. You understand? And that was just that particular situation. Just like king. David was ordained to be king over Israel, but it had to have a system of kings. You understand? All these things were ordained to happen. It just needed a situation to take place for it to be that way. Okay, otherwise, even like now, people say what they say, I'm righteous man dwelling amongst them and say exactly so. So many people say upset. You know, like many people talking blasphemous statements and they say, like when they tell you that you're atheist, you always talking some blasphemy. It hurts me a little bit, but I understand.
Like my a co-worker, right? Who say that the Bible is the white man book and so on and so forth. He started sending me like some little videos now, but I realized that what he watching or what he getting the information from is podcasts. You know, people who debating certain things and he picking out what he deems to be truth.
Like he meet from the bones.
Yeah. And trying to start as always tell them, I say, you can get in other people's head and fool them, you know.
Yeah.
I say, but me, I just read. You ain't fooling me.
And understand.
You ain't fooling me. Them don't read. And them don't understand. But I just read. I know what written, it has written. I know it's certain things that are written inside there. You can't come with that philosophy you're trying to push.
And I mean, of course, I'm always stressed. If you take me with thing, one research it. You have research that shows that these things actually happen. That we as teach, you can actually see it in secular history. You understand? You talk about Alexander, 4 generals. You could go and do research and find that. What's the things we just talk about? Like it's like the like when he was talking about never had no flood. Never had no flood. Then let's actually go and find parts of animal carcasses that's supposed to be in the ocean and mountains. How it reached there? How would I reach there? The Grand Canyon. When you look at you talked about last week, the cutouts of the Grand Canyon. They say the only way those cutouts and the rock formations could take place is if
strong water
was rushing through. How powerful water was rushing through the mountains? It obviously had a flood. It have historical and scientific evidence to show that a flood did take place.
I remember a time in Raif time when we did went down, I believe it was the Carcassonne camp, when he was walking down the beach, right? It had like the land was high now, right? And it had like marks on the thing and a fella would come down there, he said, hey, you know, all here was water.
Had to be. How else water damage could reach that high? They believe. These things have, but they're not supposed to believe, and we understand that. They're in darkness. So if they scoff, that's just their job. If they say what they say, if you're not for the Lord, then you're against it.
Shall die in their unbelief. No reason why you say that. Same thing that they can believe in it, see when they are rid of it. You understand? They believe in certain things. They believe in certain things. That is why, hey, certain things could be like supernatural to them. You know, when we just literally go do it.
That's the statement to make. And the same statement he doesn't make. He say, I ever see an angel? I ship it. I'm like, cool, no problem. I don't quarrel with him. It might just be like, don't worry. The time will come if you live to see it, you will see one.
My co-worker say a little big to be talking to imaginary people.
Yeah. I understand. They say what they say. They say, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. Yeah. Let not their unbelief trouble you. At the end of the day, it was given to you to understand the mysteries of the kingdom. To them it is not given. Have a reason why the Lord keep making those statements.
Reiterating, yeah.
Yeah, have a reason why, because they're not going to believe. And if they don't believe, you're not supposed to make that affect your belief.
I think that's another man. Can I bring that?
That Matthew?
Nah. Romans 3 verse 3 say, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? So Yahweh forbid, let Yahweh be true and every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying, and mightest overcome when thou art judged.
So they say, but let every man, let him most likely true, every man a liar. And that truth is shown through prophecies. That truth is shown through events. Before men was talking about it's June. It's June. Now, half the congregation are sure by now, seeing that June reach. The June.
We do what was for? The Bible is on a Romans man.
Just 3 years. Is it read for it? Read for it?
Yeah, read for.
You know what? That's all right. Yeah, he say, Yahweh forbid, yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar.
That is what it is. Let the Lord be true and every man a liar. So that's why we go to his word. We go to his word. We believe in his words anyway. You understand? We want to listen to our son. They're telling us about 600 million years ago. And we come from this time from our insect and everything which our man, so we are mind evolving today.
Men crime on the Bibles.
I see somebody trying to justify evolution this week. That particular bird now, but the bird eye. See that what showing on the look?
Yeah.
Now the bird eyes and it was like, this is proof that evolution, that is just the works of the Lord. Job telling the surface powerful, the works of the Lord, it's vast. You know? It's vast, it goes beyond.
Beyond your comprehension.
You know what funny? I was watching an article somebody post pertaining to I think it have a new octopus off the shores of Australia, that new species. So it even had things right now that men haven't even discovered yet, and that right there off the shore. If you understand what I say?
No, but they say that the percentage of the sea wool that is being shown is a small percentage.
It's like
compared it's small, it's real small.
Even the land, men, the Amazon forest, men never went through the whole Amazon. What's it big? You know, big the Amazon forest. Men is going there and get lost.
Afraid big mosquitoes and snakes and.
You get lost. What's it big?
How when you go more and more, you just go beyond. You understand?
Like for example, a lot of Brazil is rainforest. You know how big Brazil is? I didn't even know Brazil was so big. You know how big Brazil is? When I watch on the map, like how big, like Venezuela, let me say about 170 something times bigger than Trinidad. And that's just Venezuela. That's just the Venezuela alone, compared to the whole landmass, right? Colombia, Guyana, different sections. When you reach Brazil, when you watch down the map, the comparison to Venezuela and Brazil, you say a flight to go over Brazil is take days and days. Like it take you 2-3 days and thing by airplane to go completely over
To
Brazil.
the next side.
It's big enough.
And that's why they studied the maps that was drawn, that it is given you, that they don't compare to what it actually is.
Is.
Like, for example, we live on a small part of a small island, but watch how big it is. You understand? So big it is, it's taking 2 hours to reach certain places. So imagine places that triple the size, or quadruple, or even 100 times the size. You know? Now I say never discovered. So when you start talking about population and it's not because they come to a point, because they have an agenda now. You know?
They can't track all them people. Sometimes smaller amount of cattle and people to track
It's
them.
just to track them. That's why they want number, you know. They will put a mark in there.
And then for the idiot, so you put the air tag on the
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
cattle like that, right?
But that is what they know this one, as I say, them is Goyim. The ones that we tell is Goyim, sheep.
Cattle cleaning.
Cattle, that's all it is, cattle. You understand? So they're getting ready to put that mark on you. You understand? That is because the mention is a mark of a man. You understand? But back to what I was saying, I was watching an interview recently with this guy, Neil deGrasse. You know what I'm talking about? Scientist, Jacob scientist. He's one of the top scientists, so-called one of the top scientists in the world. Neil deGrasse Tyson is his name. Or Neil Tyson deGrasse. I believe it's Neil deGrasse Tyson. And Jake, and one of the things he was mentioning is that the interviewer asked him, which one more harder to get to? The sea or space? And he was like, the sea. See, space is just, you don't know, it's dark, there's just some things there that, you know. And that is from them comparison, because really and truly, they don't know. They're just going from what comes, your mind is perceiving. And he was like, just imagine, it's like the ocean here, and we are yet to discover like 80% of it.
Imagine you have so many tracking systems like GPS on different things.
Like they are saying, I was watching a thing where someone in this country, I believe was China or Japan or something, right? They use one in launching something where they used to launch shuttle. They reuse it and thing now. But what they were saying is that the satellites and them within the atmosphere never cross beyond. To say it enter,
It's in the inner atmosphere.
it's in the inner atmosphere. You understand? So that's just one thing. They never went beyond that barrier.
And that next thing that happened, flattened
Right.
shit, let's talk about some balloons and
Can so that's just one. But when you go into the depths of the sea, when you reach certain depths, the compression,
the pressure.
the pressure, no submarine, no tank, no nothing
Once that air
could
inside,
withstand.
I think that's why they say most aquatic creatures that deep down, they're not only luminescent to be able to provide light, but also they don't have air. Or they have some kind of oils, like a kind of fluid, to help them withstand the pressure, and the body has been much more durable. Like it's designed in a way that they can handle pressures to that depth. Yeah, because anything with air inside it is a problem. Anything with air inside is a problem. So,
Crumple it there.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll crumple.
Yeah.
So you had to have a certain design to reach them kind of depths. And even if you're in a vessel that could withstand that depth, that don't mean you could withstand being in that depth down in that's the next thing by itself. Okay, let's talk about like people who is going to space. When they're launching you see a much vigorous, like there's putting I think in the training simulations that there's putting like a kind of thing and spit it around to make it go real fast. So that's supposed to mimic the speed of the shuttle going up in the sky. And then if I see them on the movies on them, let's put in a room and look at a cart, and the cart is spin real quick to be able to get you accustomed to moving at that kind of speed. Because when it is you at a launch up, you can't speed that going at. A normal person will black out. So it's like a grooming process and to get you accustomed to how that speed. But if you can't take that, you can't go up. You can't go up.
They're showing this one and this entertainer, this artist going up in space and then
Katy Perry could go up there. You them. She actually feels scared. You should go pull up any rocket. Crazy. Like shit. I just for propaganda.
Hollywood.
That's
Yeah.
see?
That's all that for. Man.
A man was breaking down that space. He said that the way he called Hollywood.
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 Right.
But that way it truly is. Like, again, they had the technology we see. You understand?
I said, do the climate to heaven? I said, do the climate to heaven because they have the knowledge, and you know how to do these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Lord say what? He said, do the climate and you pull them down.
And even when you close on the rocks, you don't think to.
No, that's the way you can hide.
That's the way you can hide. Yeah? You don't say, really get quick. Military one here put Jeremiah 16 verse 16 along. He say, and it shall come to pass, Jeremiah 16 verse 16, behold, I will send for my fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them. And I will do it. You're not trying to fish. Yeah, men, yeah, we make fishes of men. You know? That is very good. You make fishes of men, but let me tell you what. I see a pastor, I see a thing. I see a pastor first time. I say. You know what? Can. You see the pastor?
I'm not sure. I was not sure.
Oh, okay.
So that I say the Lord designed all these things. He gave them that knowledge, and they think to themselves, and that's how he has puffed them up. It's the same thing what happened with Pharaoh. When it is that he had a big famine in the land, and he used Joseph to raise Egypt, and that made Pharaoh feel like if he was the shit. And even worse, it wasn't even the same Pharaoh. Because remember, the scriptures say they rose up a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph. You understand? So that means one of his sons go down the road, end up coming up, and he come in when shit was nice. Egypt was saying things, so he was like, who is your God? That we should let, not understanding as them God that actually make Egypt
Great.
the way it was. You understand? It wasn't a great kingdom, but it was still in a good place. You understand? And it's his God that did that. Same people that he was, that them, I say what is that abomination to dwell with sheep or something. So you guys are Egyptians, something to that degree. So that's why they put sheep in a different place, so they couldn't mingle with them because, you know, it's a segregation thing. So when it is that Egypt was in the same thing, which we know, the Lord say what for this course he raised Pharaoh up, because ultimately, I have a reason why he chose Egypt and not another place, because he wanted to destroy Egypt with wonders to be able to magnify his name. It was ultimately for objective. So when it is he do that now, and Pharaoh born in the upday life, he said, what? Talking about
Joseph?
what? My slaves? My slaves you talking about? I don't want to hear about what some God all you have. You don't see my God here. Look at my slave. We had thing too, you know. And when he come, I try to stick on the ground. I was like, hey, sort this man out. Sort this man out. We are thing too.
Same here.
Yeah, we are thing too, don't worry. And after you see men thing just swallow up, I'm like, something's going on here. That's why when you see the Lord started to bring the plagues on them, he still didn't believe, because why? God was happening in heart. He had an objective to fulfill. And the Lord tell you, before you go, he say, I will send you unto him, but he will not listen, because I am going to have his heart. That he will not listen.
And even after he let them go, the Lord still had me.
Yeah. They want to chase them. Because ultimately, remember, they had the people in bondage. So they still had to answer for what it is to do.
And not only that too, but as the scripture says, for this purpose have I raised up Pharaoh.
That's it, to show you people power in them.
To show you power in them.
So it's like a double fold. He used Pharaoh as a tool to show you power, but Pharaoh and the army also had the answer for beating people.
That also you see that punishment there.
You can't be beating jakes out here and having them like that is my servants, not yours. You had to pay for that. So it was a double fold execution.
Moses, deal with that man.
And Moses already gave yes.
Yeah.
He don't know. Thing. Like you see the movie, this you shall know that your God, and you see shows you see on them, and you see men at a ball, you understand? And men want to see that didn't happen. But so why the financial charity brings it down in the ocean? You understand? Now when you say, let not the incredulity and we know that these things happen. Even though we did not, just like the prophecy, second, just one thing, even though they did not see with bodily eyes, yet they believe. You understand? Elect, we are fall into that category. We didn't see these things happen, but we believe them happen. And we do what is committed of us, what is commanded of us. You say what? Say, if you love me, feed my lambs. We know that. Scripture say what we don't see righteous act. So we know that certain things we have to practice. Might not always like it, might not be pleasant, but that is the requirements of serving our Hashem, which most people, they don't want to do because I interfere with their
Their pleasure.
Yeah. They want to handle their scene.
That interrupting their service.
And that's where the old about it. Now when you say what? Say not that the Lord has tempted you, but that He was tempted of your own desires. You understand? If it wasn't scratching your eye, it wouldn't be a problem. Because sin is usually something that you want to do, and you're not supposed to do it. But if it wasn't something that we was interested in, it would never be an issue. So don't blame the Lord. Blame your personal desires. You understand? To your daily.
No, not good.
Look, you're going to say something.
I got to say, that's why the scripture says, lean not on your own understanding now, boy. Because when you started thinking, alright, this is the right thing to me, you know. But you know it's
see that
not.
Word?
Yeah.
But
You
but
know, according to the scripture, according to the Lord, it's not the right thing. But at the point in time, you just want to fulfill your desires, your pleasure, satisfy the flesh.
And I was saying to people, when you're seeking truth, the first thing you have to accept is that you're not always going to be what you want. Being a servant means that you no longer have your desire. Once you start to think about what you want, that is when the stock market will start to crash. Once you start to focus on what you want, that's why I tell people like, what you just say, I said what I say. What I say? Like I remember I'm watching this fella, I think it's Eddie, I know you remember my name, strange thing. Oh yeah, I can't remember my name, I know you remember my name. Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin. He call a show called a skit called Voodoo Child. And he was talking about slavery now. And he was talking about how Jakes may not necessarily be that upset about it because they didn't actually live through it. You understand? He's saying none of us never picked no fucking carbon. You understand? It's true. We never actually went through the harsh effects. We can read about it, watch movies, but we ourselves
Never experienced it.
Yeah, to that degree. To experience some kind of hatred from the Levite, but not to the extent that our forefathers did, because they actually lived through it. So in that regard, it had things that we experienced from Jakes directly that may have been worse than what we would have considered from Edomites, because we experienced it directly. A Jake might have come down literally and rush your wife, or rob you, or take money from you. But the Lord still will show mercy on Jacob. You understand? Yes? Yeah. But the Lord said, you'll show mercy on Jacob. Esau not going to receive this. That is not what we feel like. If I Jake will hate other Jakes, what do you think about not going to change that?
Imagine Jake saying no, boy. The Lord going and pull them in.
Yeah, but I say because why? They don't have a problem with Edomites. But not because you don't have a problem with Edomites. That means that you don't cool with them. The same way, if you a Jake, have a problem with other Jakes, that's not going to change the mercy towards them by the Lord. If it was the Lord's desire that Edomites would have been grafted, we would have had to go along with the flow. They said, no, we show. You understand what I'm saying? We say it as it is. Jakes, yes. Edom, no. And that's all it comes down to.
When the Lord did bring in Saul, at the point in time when he was Saul, yeah. You understand? What Peter said, it's like the Lord's food.
Guys, what you had to do.
He had to do.
And afterwards, it was the Lord's desire that Saul would have fallen. He would have departed, and David would have, because David was where he really wanted him in the first place. Now Saul would be there on the next side.
No, not that Saul. And there was first his name was Saul and then turned to Paul, eh?
I think so.
Right, I talk about in the New
What are
Testament.
you talking about?
Yeah. Right, yeah, get my kind of frightened. Yeah.
Nah, they're talking
But
about Saul
yeah,
and the king.
Saul in the New Testament. I think it was Saul first and then turned to Paul. Yeah, can.
I think that was because
Yeah.
the Lord is really like John.
Yeah.
But Peter was the one who was the head of the church. Like, this is the Lord's will to every day. It's
That
not
was say
about-
when he drafted Saul and Saul turned to Peter to Paul. You understand? When he didn't know coming, was just like, isn't this the same man who was
who was
prosecuted?
oppressing me. Yeah. He was a tax collector. And tax
Well,
collectors
so,
is
you
not,
know, if it's the Lord's will.
that is not, and even they was amazed by the change
Change.
that
Yeah.
he made compared to knowing him how he was to how he, and that is the power of the Lord. And the same way now, some brothers, some different walks of life. That when you look at them now compared to how they were, it's two completely different people. The Lord can do that. And that is be done by through a process of grooming. Not a very pleasant process. Because if you see what you say, the sacrificing is a broken spirit in our country. Right? Men had to get a little bit of licks to get where it is today.
Yeah.
All of us went through it. Kind of part of the process. I won't talk too much. We did
As we then, we want to go back into the second Esdras.
When I finish this, I'm gonna go back to the second interest rate.
Yeah, right, verse 39. Yeah, verse 39, right? He said, even so, second Ezra 16 and verse 39, he said, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall... Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead now, I'll finish it
Are we
now.
seeing that the plagues not being slack? We seeing plagues not being slack, right? And we seeing the people mourning, right? We seeing those two things. We seeing plagues not being slack, we see people mourning right now. Right now, real people mourning. Exactly right. We see real people mourning right now. Right now, real things happening. Real things. And it is going to get worse, as we as often say. Right? Way worse.
Right. He said, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
You said what?
And sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
So if you're not getting it, what will you getting next? If you're not being affected by money, you will be affected by pestilence. If you're affected by pestilence, something else going on grip you. You're going and be sorrowful. Something will happen. Yeah.
You're going and be tried either way.
And next thing too is like, even though it's sorrowful, like sometimes you might think be touched, yeah. But due to the fact that you see all this thing happening around you,
Yeah.
you see bodies dropping, children disappearing, this kind of thing, you know. It's like, you know, I know people weak minded right now. What I'm talking about Jake Strong and things. I tell them, somebody else on the other day, talking about cool and government change. I said, go no. Go no. She not going and spare all. You see, 1990, what they went through, no. She telling, she gonna tell them Esau, hey, all they come and do all you have to do. You understand?
The Jakes or the so-called bad boys in this time, they ain't built for that kind of turbulence, yeah.
Hey, good times.
That different turbulence, yeah.
Good
Enough
times
time.
make weak men.
Yeah.
It has something in your mind right now. Who in the force? Who in the army? Hey, them just waiting for Jake to make a noise right now.
And right now we have
Many in the forest. Hey, the forest.
Yeah.
How much of them didn't know they was in the forest? How much Jake didn't know? Nobody didn't know. Because until they put the information, they are bringing here about a week now or like this. All the men didn't even know where.
Why
Yeah, they say they want to take over all the outlets and turn it into a base like an intelligence base to gather information going back to the blue water zoners and so on and so forth and other little things now, but
Something
telling
going
all
on.
that.
yeah, something.
Telling all that. It can't like these jigs thinking that they can do. Nah, man, it can't menu. All the thing for the man. Always remember in his life.
Yeah.
When you think you something,
This woman that here, she ain't playing.
She on self-preservation.
You see she get the quarter overturn you, then hey, let them declare the how they pay the assets or how they attain this rebuild this Balize house. They have to come and bring documents now stating alright where they get the funding and all of these.
you see what she do when he do water. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. No, we know, obviously, we know that the 1% they come through. Right? So then, whatever them want to get, let me see what you're going to get now.
Man say now we the Lebanese community will create a petition to sign so we could uproot and leave this place.
And the crazy thing about it is
She
that
1% stronger than them.
and that one say, and that one everyone say, or they leave it, that's going to be, who if you won't come in? Who if you won't come in? That's strong, that 1%. Who if you always the outgoing 1%? Isn't the outgoing 1%?
Oh, well, remember when any how you play the upper rooms and you're feeling like you use boss and
She did them in the real McCoy.
real McCoy.
I want here bad. I'm saying go to want here bad. You know, like you see crime raising up right now. You see crime raising up right now, right?
Yeah.
And all these things, right? She has that stuff. She knows what she wants to have to say. You understand? And when she tell all that, tell them to protect, tell them to go ahead. She tell them to go ahead and do all that to do. Why don't you do that? Jake feel everything is like game. That's the thing with Jake. Jake feel everything is like game. You know? Somebody block. So that all Jake like him. But his script I mentioned the rise and thing, you know? Just to have fun. Just to have fun. Jake everything is pleasure. That is mentioned as the pleasure. That will into the pleasure. That's what it's like. You know? In the morning, they wake up early in the morning, drink, smoke, lie. You understand?
Talk shit.
Talk shit.
No care for what really taking place. No care how a life, and I should say.
Well,
Right? He's second is just 16.
Right.
Right now, right? You say so I read over verse 39. He say, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Mourn.
You understand? We shall mourn. And sorrow shall come upon it on every side. It's not just one, there's no people thinking here, right? It's not Jake. Them thinking something happening on that side, the world not coming here.
It's spreading.
Right, it mightn't be to that, it mightn't be that, you know? But it will be things happening here.
A trickle down effect.
A trickle-down effect, yeah.
Like what taking place with the economy, you know?
economy,
There's
or
plenty
the
jakes
food,
on the
or the
side
food,
here,
yeah.
thinking that they're in good case.
So I say trouble, sorrows on every side of it. Not some, not peace, but on every side.
So yeah, go ahead.
What?
Verse 40, my people, hear my word, make you hear my word.
Guys, wait, it's time to hear the word. You understand? Hear this one, hear me, go back to it. You know? My mama puts up here, this part of the middle very quick. Right? Revelation chapter 1 verse 3 says, blessed is he that readeth and they that hear the words of his prophecy again, going to take.
Yeah.
You understand? They say, and keep those things which are written therein for the times at hand. For the what? For the times at hand. So blessed is he that readeth and hear. Why are you telling him that? Because he said the time is at hand. The time that we're heading into. The time that we're in, my God. No, we're heading into. No, we're in it. Because you don't have to hear.
Itching ears.
Yeah. You know? We're in it.
So you say, O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle.
Right?
Yeah, he said, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
And a pilgrim, I remember that's what I mean, that you would pilgrim.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to thing up here right now. But a pilgrim is somebody that, even though they say become out, let's roughly paraphrase it, right? Even though they say become an outcast, it's somebody who actually want to go home. You
A
understand?
pilgrim.
Yeah, it's have a nice little meaning thing. Not the exact meaning I'm talking about here, but when they go into depth, you can make that, right?
I think it was going into being a sojourner,
Right.
or somebody
right.
don't have a fixed place of abode now.
Right.
They move from, somebody who move from place to place.
I wonder.
And, yeah.
I can't change. I just wonder.
Oh, that's it.
See, a pilgrim is a traveler who journeys a long distance,
Traveler.
often to a sacred site or shrine as an act of religion and devotion. Right? I say broadly, the term can also refer to any wayfarer, wanderer, or newcomer in a foreign land. Right?
You understand me now? This is not our, say right any part, but this is not yours.
And I know, yeah.
And now something now comes to mind, right? That's sitting and the thing, you know, that used to go across. You know, they used to go across in Israel. Don't go in over there now. They won't visit. They won't go back home. Huh?
What's going on with the ship, eh?
Yeah, they're not supposed to be going back home.
Man say, the man who say, keep fast over.
Right?
Well,
So you say, verse 41, he that selleth, let him be as he put. Alright. Verse 40, he said, O my people, hear my word and make you ready to thy battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
yes, that is it. You know? But again, this is not regress. This is not regress. Yeah, so we want to see this place go. We want to see this place go because we know after that is there with the Lord. So say, but we are not continuing here, but we seek one to come. You know, continuing means that it's going on. We don't want to seek to continue. We want to be with the Lord.
The scripture says, say the fear of the Lord is true evil. And this is an evil place.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, you see evil. If you don't want this place to be gone, then you're not of the Lord.
Can't. You understand? So that way too. And it's kind of say to what they hear this word. Right? They hear this word and happen. You know, you can't hear the into. Hey, this word is all that you need. So for some another can be able to get a time. You understand? You know anything I think. We're going to keep you afloat. We're going to keep you on that path. You know? The sword.
No, well, so like, even in that time, they and all wouldn't want to be of this place. Because what coming is the reward of their actions.
The mud will be gone.
The mud will be gone.
But that is where it's supposed to be. You understand? That is what coming all the way. Great war, destruction, and more.
But now they want to be of this place because you know they are murder, and liberty, and all these things. You know, like I was watching
I say peace and safety, so the destruction coming upon you.
was Alicia Keys, right? She was saying like in this time, you know, women still don't have equal rights as men. You know, in this modern time, that they still being restricted from certain things.
It can be the one America.
Huh?
It can be the one America. It can be the one country.
Well, she living in America, so
It can be the one because America women are the same rights and more as men.
she can be talking worldwide on the whole.
Yeah, because in America right now, women have even more rights. Women have
More rights. Yeah. The system is
So unless she just being a devil and just trying to push for more rights,
She is
she advocate for.
in that sense, unless that's what she's trying to do.
But it's really feminism she pushing, so
all of that come and go. Feminism, toxic, whatever they want to trade as to be, whatever coming down with this place.
Like the Titanic, when the big ship now built for the riders, when they hit the iceberg, the people don't want to be on the
Nah,
ship.
they want to come,
They want to come off. I don't know. With the life raft.
Alright? So once again, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shem Yoshai, Shem Rakapadash. Right? We say that when it's Apostle and Elders agree with the word, our teachers are apostles should. And this are the patience of the act of the should and teach us sincerity. Day in and day out in the constant in season or season, say,
Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Elect.